It's Dizzy. I'm out at the farm, and I have been having adventures doing farm chores for the past few days, which I'm sure a lot of the others of you have been as well. If you got this storm, what did they call it? Fern, I think. Sunday morning has been the last time that I really was able to do things the proper way. I got out here early on Sunday morning. I only do my horses on Sunday. Was able to get them fed, put hay in the stalls, took care of the chickens, took care of Thumper, and went home. The roads were getting bad, but they weren't too bad. Church was canceled, so once I got home, other than taking care of the house chickens, I didn't have to go out again. And Callie wasn't thrilled with going out either. I had trouble getting her out of the house, and I finally got her to go out the back. She pooped on my deck. It's still there. Everything is frozen solid. It's just going to have to wait to come up. So like I said, that was Sunday, the last normal day. I had wanted to get a round bale for the horses, and it just didn't happen. Monday, I get out here, taking the Jeep. I had covered the vehicles with tarps, and I couldn't get the tarps off the truck. I was able to get it off the Jeep. They hadn't touched my road. I have four-wheel drive in the Jeep, and I was able to get out my driveway and get started down the road, get as far as the next door neighbors, and I get stuck. And I was thinking I wasn't going to be able to get out. I was able to throw some ashes around all tires, both in front and behind, and was able to get out. And I put the bag of ashes in the Jeep, so just in case I needed it, I also had a little shovel in there. I managed to get out here. I look at the lane, it's like, how am I going to get down that lane? I tried backing in, which I've done in the past. Got stuck, couldn't get down the lane at all. And finally was able to get unstuck. So then it's like, well, maybe I can just pull over to the side of the road. I get stuck. Thought, well, maybe I can go in the owner's driveway. That was as bad as the lane. Well, neighbor across the street was out sitting in his car, had it running. So I walked over and I asked him if I could park in the driveway so that I could go down and feed the horses. And he gave me permission, so I was able to come down and feed all the horses. It was not easy. I had some ice cleats, which I tried wearing. They came off. I tried a couple times to get them to stay on. No such luck. So I gave up on that and just concentrated on not falling. I was able to get everybody fed. I had to take Callie out on a leash, of course. Was able to get home without getting stuck again. Of course, with all this ice, it means that Callie, when I let her out front because she goes on a rope, she gets stuck on chunks of ice. The only shoveling that I've done at my house is walkway from the house to the driveway, and that has ashes on it. A bit thicker than I'd planned, but whatever. So that was Monday. Tuesday, I was able to get the truck uncovered. I was hoping that with the truck, it's more powerful, it's higher and whatnot, I'd be able to get down the lane. Well, the brakes did not feel right when I was driving. I was having to push down a lot farther than normal to stop, and I'm thinking, I'm just going to have to stop at the mechanics on my way home and have them look at it. I get to the farm, my brake light comes on. It's like, oh, great. Well, let me at least try to get down the lane. Well, I was able to back into the lane far enough to be off the road and led Callie down again and was able to get everybody fed. And I had forgotten to bring something with me to put eggs in, so I had 5 eggs in my pocket when I left. But, needless to say, I wasn't going to be driving home. I thought about calling AAA when I I got here, but just on the off chance that they would be able to come and get me right away, it's like, yeah, that's no good. I figured, I'll just go and feed and then call. Should have probably taken my card down with me and called while I was getting closer to being done, but whatever. But anyway, I get down here, get my guys fed. I go to feed the horses in the next field over. There's a full-size horse and 2 minis. And I'm not seeing any sign of the 1 mini. Now I'm panicking. And it's like, I can't figure that she could have gotten out. Well, I don't know how well you can see it. Trying not to fall and kill myself. There's a little shelter there. That's a little pen that's been set up for her. She's had problems in the past with laminitis, so when it's bad, she has to go in there. She was in that pen, and she would not walk from the pen up to the barn. Thank God I had thought to bring ashes out with me before all of this hit, just in case it was needed for anything. I grabbed some of the ashes and put them in one of my muck buckets and went out and started putting ashes down. Was able to get almost all the way to her. Had to do that a couple of times. And then I walked over, grabbed her mane, and she still didn't want to come. I started dragging her basically. I was able to get her up partially. I got to a point where she wouldn't come again. I took off my belt, put it around her neck, and I was able to drag her up to the barn. I don't think she's tried to go down that way since. We're not really able to get to the round bale that they have. I got a bale of my hay and put it in there and in their feed stall so that I could throw them some hay. And of course, I get back to the truck I call AAA. Of course, you have to wait a couple of hours, but the truck is now at the mechanics. And there were a couple other things that I needed to have done as well, so I'm not sure how long it's going to be there. Today, for the first time, I put down some ashes. And the horses are all eating here. I was able to get the running clean. I tried getting the manure down where I've been putting it, and it's like I'm almost falling. I said, forget it, and just making a pile there. I'll take care of it later. But of course, I have the horses in the back to feed as well, and all of them have been fine until today. The horse in the farthest field that I feed, he normally gets fed up by the trailer that they have for his hay, and that is quite a distance from his run-in. Personally, it's not how I would have set up the fields, but I wasn't asked, so whatever. He was in his run-in. He would not come up. He had one foot that he kept on the ground. He was weaving his head back and forth, keeping that foot on the ground. And it's like, what in the world? I'm thinking maybe he's stuck. His hoof froze to the ground or something, which didn't make sense. But I took his feed, and because I normally feed him up by the hay trailer, and very carefully walked across the field. It was frozen enough that I didn't sink down. I also managed to get to him. He wasn't stuck, he just wouldn't walk across the field. So I gave him his feed. When I went back down later, his water is up by the trailer. There was a bucket in his run-in. I took a couple gallons of water. He was very grateful to get the water. And then he's still weaving back and forth after I got that up. And I know he normally gets fed some alfalfa during the morning. And he didn't want to walk across the field to get it. So then I grabbed a few flakes of alfalfa and walked them to there. And so he's down there. So it has been an adventure. It is so much colder than normal. I brought in what normally would have taken me a week to 10 days for burning at my house. I'm going to be bringing in more wood probably tomorrow or Friday, because I am just going through the woods so fast. So, and I also have problems with my chickens. They keep knocking the door to their house so that they get locked out. I did set up, let's see if you can see it. I'm falling through the ice here. Set up a dog loose so that if they get locked up, I put some wood hay in there. At least I have a way to get out of the weather. And they have laid a couple of eggs in there, so. But that's the fun that I'm having. I'm done at the farm now. I'm now ready to walk up. Of course, I had to bring the Jeep today, and I was able to get partially down the lane, but not all the way. So, oh, and I had to wait yesterday for AAA for a couple of hours. But I'm going to go home. I'm going to get in where it's nice and warm. I think I'm going to make up some chili tonight, and I'll talk at you later.